Mega Evolutions are returning in full force for Pokemon Legends EA. Let's rank them in a tier list. All right, you guys loved my last tier list so much. I mean, just look at the comments. Everyone totally agreed with all my opinions. So now we're gonna dive into Mega Evolutions and rank them S tier to D tier based on my experiences and professional opinion as the greatest PokeTuber that ever lived up until a few years ago. Let's dive in. All right, I know what you're thinking. I'm definitely not the greatest PokeTuber that ever lived. We're gonna give that to Shady Penguin. Let's start this off with my boy Asparagus. We got Venusaur. I'm gonna throw him up in A tier. This dude's a beast, thick, fat, love it. Love the fact that ice and fire types ain't doing as much. I've always liked Venusaur, been a big Venusaur guy. Very cool stuff. We're gonna go with the double Charizards, man. I got good vibes towards Charizard Y. Always love the drought. I have some good memories in Draft League, which is where a lot of my Mega Evolution experience comes from. Pretty sweet design. I do like the fact that Charizard got 2 Mega Evolutions. Let me know in the comments if you think he's gonna get a Mega Charizard Z. That would actually be really interesting. I gotta give the other Charizard C tier though, because as much as it's a cool Pokemon, it's got some really cool strategies with Dragon Dance and stuff. I've always felt like Charizard Y felt like the more authentic Charizard to me in terms of just its appearance and like the real Mega Evolution. So even though I like that they split it, I gotta give some more love to Charizard Y, and that's where we're at. Blastoise is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. I did like Mega Launcher. I think it's gonna be a lot better now that it's got access to new moves and stuff like that. But it's one that I've always appreciated but never really like cared a ton about, so I'm gonna kind of sit him in the middle there. Beedrill goes straight to S tier. First S tier, no doubt about it. Mega Beedrill, S tier design. One of my favorite things about Megas is when you take a bad Pokemon and you make it a lot better with Mega Evolution, and I feel like Mega Beedrill does exactly that. It takes a bad mon, makes it really cool, gives it an identity, the quintessential glass cannon, right? Really high attack, really high speed, everything else is trash, and it's a really fun Pokemon to use with U-turn. It's like the perfect combination there. Mega Pidgeot, I'm gonna say design-wise, I actually would rank pretty low, but I really like what it does. No Guard Hurricane is really sick, and the design has grown on me quite a bit. The fact that you could just spam Hurricanes with this thing, you don't have to worry about missing, is really awesome. It obviously has decent stats, decent special attack. I feel like this is one of those Megas that oftentimes is underrated in Draft League when we look back on those days. I feel like Mega Pidgeot actually pretty sweet. Mega Alakazam, how much ice cream you eating, dog? My man, I mean, listen, this is one of those Megas where it just takes what Alakazam does and just makes him stronger, but it's not necessarily better because a lot of the times Alakazam benefits from Focus Sash and you lose that by turning into a Mega Evolution. So to me, this is one that kind of defeats the purpose of Mega Evolution, and its design is cool, but I prefer regular Alakazam. We've got Slowbro here. Slowbro, I'm gonna put in C tier as well, right? Another one where usefulness, it's kind of low, right? Like the regular Slowbro is oftentimes better. I do like the fact that it can't be crit and the fact that it's got an incredible defense stat. Design-wise, it's fun, it's goofy, but I just feel like this one to me doesn't quite do it, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. Before we get to the rest of the video, I have to tell you about this epic stream I'm doing tomorrow. On Thursday, May 2nd at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be live streaming on Whatnot, and you can use my link in the description below to get $10 free credit on sign up. We're gonna be doing tons of giveaways, pack openings, and much, much more, and we're gonna even open up a brand new booster box of Frostfall. This set's not even out yet. Do not miss out on this. Make sure you guys mark your calendars and head to the description, click the link below to head over to Whatnot and get $10 free credit on sign up for Whatnot. 1 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, May 2nd. You don't want to miss it. Mega Gengar was always banned because of Perish Trap, obviously. It was one of the Megas that, you know, I never really utilized a ton, but I know it's really strong. I said Perish Trap, I meant Shadow Tag. I know it's really strong. Design-wise, I do feel like it's lacking a little bit. It's pretty cool, but I actually like the Gigantamax Gengar more, so he's gonna go in B tier. I don't feel like he deserves to go any higher than that. Mega Kangaskhan, I'm gonna put in C tier. I'm gonna put it in C tier. I like Mega Kangaskhan and what it does. Obviously, Parental Bond, super unique effect. I like the fact that the little dude jumps out of the pouch. In terms of like its design though, it is definitely the least inspired Mega Evolution design, right? Like all that happens is the little dude jumps out of the pouch. So I'm kind of indifferent to that, but it's obviously very strong. It was one of the top competitive Pokemon at VGC. We've got Mega Pinsir here. Despite loving bug-type Pokemon, I don't exactly love Mega Pinsir's design, but it's sick. I gotta give it props. I like the horns. I feel like the horns are cool. The wings are kind of sick. The fact that it gets aerialate is really nice. It ends up becoming like a very unique Pokemon in that regard. And I just remember like utilizing Swords Dance Quick Attack in a unique way. So those kind of 8 abilities, Pixelate, Aerialate, they were really cool additions to the game. And I thought Mega Pinsir was one that really needed a mega, right? Like, I couldn't stand alone as a regular pincer. So having that mega evolution and pairing it with things like Moxie before it megas is really, really cool strategy. Looking at my boy Mega Gyarados, this is one that I actually quite like. I think Mega Gyarados is really fun to use for Dragon Dance. You can set up with it and you can deal some damage, but much like, you know, kind of some of the other ones we talked about, like Alakazam, it's not a Pokemon that really benefits from Mega Evolution. Like, it oftentimes is better just being regular Gyarados. So, and design-wise, it doesn't really get me super excited. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. We've got Aerodactyl here. Aerodactyl is one of those where I feel like I think it's pretty much Tough Claws. Its design doesn't really get me that excited personally. It does get some benefits, but it's needed for Aerodactyl. Otherwise, a Pokemon that's not very utilized. But I feel like it still kind of misses the mark for me. It doesn't really do it for me. I don't like Mega Mewtwo at all. So that one's gonna go to D tier, and this one's gonna go to C tier. Why are we giving legendaries Mega Evolution? In the first place, I feel like it's like, what's the point? They're already legendaries. I'm not a big fan of them. I like this one more because I like its design more. It looks cool. It's more innovative. This guy, I think he looks weird. This guy reminds me of Pokeaim, right? Like, when I think of Mega Ampharos, I think of Pokeaim, my boy. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. Obviously, it has a crazy special attack stat. It's obviously can do some cool stuff with Volt Turn. It's got, you know, a dragon typing, which is a nice addition for Ampharos, but it's never been super good, right? It's always been a little too slow to be able to do anything. Steelix is really sick. Like, I like its design, but this is one where, like, they missed the mark, in my opinion, in terms of viability. Mega Steelix is just really bad. It doesn't really do a whole lot more than regular Steelix can do. In fact, it's one of those situations where, like, you're almost better off just running an item on Steelix. And when that happens, like, it kind of, again, defeats the purpose of Mega Evolution for me. Scissors one, like, this is a tough one for me too. Same kind of thing, right? Like, regular Scissor is often better than Mega Scissor because you could just run Choice Band and just hit harder, right? So, like, having a Mega Scissor, it really feels pointless. And I don't think the design is good. Like, I think the sleekness of regular Scissor is much better than the whatever this is. So, Mega Heracross, I like Mega Heracross, and you can tell that this list is real because I'm not just putting all the bugs on the top. I like Mega Heracross. I like the skill link side of it. I think that's really cool. I'm still unsure about how I feel about its design. Heracross is a perfect Pokemon design, in my opinion. Mega Heracross is just a little goofy, but I respect him. I respect for what he's trying to do. Mega Houndoom, I would have put in D tier at one point in my life, but I'm actually going to put it in C tier. This is a powerhouse, dude. I remember using this thing and having to just absolutely wrecking people with, you know, it's solar power in the sun and all these different things. It was a very strong Pokemon, and I feel like it's actually a lot of fun. I'm not sold on its design, but I also don't really think Houndoom's design is all that great, so I think Mega Houndoom actually adds to that. So I would say C tier, but I could see putting it in B tier, I guess. Mega Tyranitar, this is, I just never been into T-Tar, dog. Like, I know that is gonna be one that people are like, yo, T-Tar's so sick, bro. I just have never really liked Tyranitar that much, especially now in 3D. My dude looks very, very clonky. He looks like lifeless. We talk about going from pixels to 3D. I feel like it's one that didn't translate very well. And also I feel like it's Mega. It's like, bro, he grew some shoulder pads. Like, that's all we're talking about. I mean, whatever. Mega Sceptile, man, I love its design, dude, but I hate its viability. Like, it gets faster, it gets stronger on the special side, but honestly isn't doing too much more. I do like the Christmas tree, though, vibes. I think it's sick, and the fact that he gets dragon is cool. I'm not a Blaziken fan. I've never been a Blaziken fan. I'm gonna be real. It's obviously busted. Speed boost, very strong. It's a cool design. I like the little flame things going off of it. He's got a cool pose. I can see why Blaziken fans like him, so I'm not gonna hate on him. Mega Swampert. I like Swampert. I like Mega Swampert. Swolpert. His design is not my favorite, right? I'm not gonna say that Swolpert is my favorite design, but I do like its viability with Swift Swim. I think it's a really cool piece of the puzzle, and I think it's a cool take on the design, the fact that he becomes this really, like, bulky dude. So I'm for that. Mega Gardevoir, like, really? Is this even, like, I'm gonna put it in B tier, but its design, it looks like regular Gardevoir to me. Like, honestly, it's basically regular Gardevoir. What are we doing here? But it is obviously very strong, so it can hit really hard, and it can, you know, it's an incredible special attacker, so I'm not gonna hate. Mega Sableye, baby, I'm all about it. I'm gonna throw him up in A tier. I love the Magic Bounce. My boy Mirror Mirror, this thing is a beast. I love it. I love the concept of it. He's hiding behind his big gemstone. I just feel like Mega Sableye is pretty sweet. Mega Mawil's another one, right? Like, this is one where it's obviously incredibly strong, like super strong, much improved, much needed. And in terms of design, it adds a little bit to what Mawile is. This is really good because it takes a bad Pokemon and makes it better. So that is, you know, one of the criteria that I have. We got Mega Aggron. I'm a big Mega Aggron fan. I've always been a big Mega Aggron fan. The fact that he loses his rock typing, goes pure steel, is massive. He's got a great defensive ability. Does exactly what you want a Mega to do, right? It makes it worthwhile to have Mega Aggron. So I'm all about that. Mega Medicham is cool. I've never been a fan of Medicham's design. I think it's a little meh, but it's obviously very strong. The stat buff is all it needs. Obviously, its effect stays the same, but the stat buff is really sick. So that's really what allows Mega Medicham to be cool. So we'll put it in the B tier. Nothing too crazy there. Mega Manectric is one I like. I feel like its move pool is what sets it back. This could potentially be a much stronger Pokemon in the future. Design-wise, I like it. The fact that he's like a jagged Thunderbolt, way cooler than Manectric. So I'm going to give Mega Manectric some props here. All right, up next, Mega Sharpedo. This is a disappointment to me. Not only do I feel like the design is mid, I feel like Mega Sharpedo doesn't really add a whole lot. It obviously hits a little bit harder, but I really feel like I always remember it just being kind of awkward. I just always remember it being kind of awkward to use. And I just feel like its design is kind of meh. I feel like it would almost be cooler if like the rest of the shark got filled in when it was Mega or something. Or maybe give it like ghost typing or something. Like something cool. I don't know. I'm just thinking of fan games. Mega Camerupt is... Ugh. Dude, I really want Mega Camerupt to be good, but unless you have Trick Room, he's pretty bad. And I feel like his design is really weird. And he kind of is like a Team Magma dude. And like... Does anyone care about Team Magma? I don't know, man. I'm just not a big Camerupt guy. Mega Altaria, I do really like this one, though. This is one where, you take a Pokemon that otherwise is pretty much not usable at all, and you make it significantly better, give it a good ability. This thing is a Beast Dragon Dancer, Cotton Guard, some really cool stuff you can do with it. I've always been a big fan of Mega Altaria, so I'm all over that. Mega Banette is one of my favorite designs, but its stats and its ability do not match up nicely. It was so close to being awesome, right? Crazy high attack stat. Bad speed stat, bad defenses. Can't really do a whole lot with that when your ability is Prankster, right? So like, it should have had like low attack and like crazy bulk, and then you could have something really cool. A little disappointed there. Mega Absol, I love the design, love everything about it. Hits really hard, both physical and special. Wide move pool, absolutely devastating if you don't have anything that can outspeed it or priority hit it. Very awesome. Glalie is kind of meh. I like the concept of it. The jaw breaking, wide open, big horn, cool refrigerate effect, explosion, doing big damage. But, Glalie isn't all that crazy, let's be honest here. We got Mega Salamence. I do like Mega Salamence. This thing obviously very strong. I think the fact that it can Mega Evolve after it gets off Intimidate is really nice for Moxie. So I've always thought its design was cool, like the Crescent Moon. Obviously, they took some inspiration there when they did the Paradox form. So I always thought this was a cool one. I like the Flying Disc. I think this is a good Mega Evolution I can get behind. Mega Metagross is one that obviously Metagross, an incredibly powerful Pokemon. Probably didn't need a Mega Evolution. This thing is a beast though, man. Listen, I like its design a lot. I feel like it hits so hard with Tough Claws. I remember drafting this thing in like the UCL way back in the day. This thing just put on a clinic all the time because it was so busted. Mega Metagross, baby. You gotta love it. The laddies are going to D tier. Very, very boring. What are we doing here? Like, this is not a situation where these things need Mega. Same with Rayquaza, bro. What do you need a Mega for? All right, I'll put him in C. I'm never gonna get behind this. You two, you guys, all of you. I'll put you here. These guys, I guess, are kind of cool. I'm not, like, the designs are cool. I like them. But, like, why? I mean, I get it because they're the cover legendaries. But why? Why do we have Megas? Why? I don't get it. Audino's terrible. Why is Mega Audino a thing? It's like the only Gen 5 Mega. I think that's going to get some redemption, obviously, in Legends EA, and I think the Unova potential remakes that might be coming, that's a good opportunity there. Mega Audino is just disappointing. I don't think the design is bad, but, like, it doesn't really add anything to what Audino does. Like, Audino is almost better not Mega Evolving because of Regenerator. They probably could have changed that around. We got Mega Lopunny. Mega Lopunny is really sick. I'm going to put it in A tier. I don't necessarily love Lopunny's design in terms of what it looks like, but I think its effects and what it does in terms of stats and its viability increase over regular Lopunny is something that I've grown to really appreciate. Mega Lopunny, an absolute powerhouse. Gotta love it. Mega Garchomp, I feel like should go in C tier. This is another one where, like, they made a Mega and it's worse than the regular one, which is hard for me to stomach. It obviously has this crazy high attack stat and stuff, but it gets slower, which really inhibits its ability to be good. And then you lose the held item slot on Garchomp, which is kind of important to its success. Mega Lucario is another one where it's like so busted that I've never even really used it, like Gengar. Like, it's not one that I care a lot about. And I'm not a big Lucario fan in general, but obviously adaptability is busted, so there's that. Mega Abomasnow, I like this dude, right? I like the fact that Abomasnow is sick. It needed Slush Rush, though, right? Like, make it so regular Abomasnow sets the hail, and then give Abomasnow a way to take advantage of the hail instead of having the exact same effect. Like, what are we doing, right? And they didn't give it enough stat buff to really justify it. They should have you know, kind of pick or choose one side or the other. And then Mega Gallade. This at least looks, in my opinion, a little bit better than the Mega Gardevoir one. And I guess it's okay, right? Like, we'll put Mega Gallade there. And that's my tier list, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can let me know. I guess Beedrill the only one making it to S tier. I'm sure you guys have some different opinions. Have your voice heard in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait for more Megas in Legends Z. I'm really excited about it. I love Megas. I'll see you guys soon.